In Matthew 11, verse 28, it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." You know, just as you are lifting your knees and flexing your hips, lifting the weight off your legs, remember that Jesus wants to lift the weight off of your heart. He invites the weary and burdened to come to him, which includes those who don't know him, for he will give you rest, is a promise. Just as your hips and legs work together to support your body in the exercise, let him be your strength and support, trusting in him to carry you through. I'm Raman Hunter. Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the standing hip flexion exercise. Now, for the standing hip flexion exercise, you can use a small resistance loop above your knees, around the thighs, around the legs, or by the level of the ankle. Or you can also use a resistance band, which I'm using currently right here. I'm going to be using a resistance band. Or you can use a resistance tube or a cable pulley machine. All right, standing hip flexion exercise. Now, for the resistance band, I have one end anchored to a stable object. Can anchor it around a pole, around a table foot, or you can anchor it around a grill of some sort, something that is sturdy and stable that won't move or topple over with you whenever you're performing the exercise. The other end of the band is anchored around the moving leg. All right, so it's anchored around the moving leg down here. I'm using a light resistance band. You can use a medium or heavy resistance if you so desire, but I'm using a light resistance band in this case. And this exercise is really good. The target muscles for this exercise, the hip flexors, of course. Standing hip flexion exercise is the hip flexors, which are the iliopsoas muscles, large group of muscles there, and also to a lesser extent the quads, all right, the quadricep muscles, all right, the muscle at the front of the thigh. Now, what we're going to be doing is you're going to stand shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, and you're going to shift the weight a little bit onto the balancing leg. That's the leg without the resistance. And you're going to take your time, you're going to cock the toes of the moving leg, or bring the toes up. As you can see here, bring the toes up like that. And all you're doing is just flexing or moving the leg forward slightly. You're not going to swing it all the way up like that. And don't rock your body. Try not to rock your body when performing this exercise. But try and keep your body as steady and as stable as possible. Right? This also helps with balance. It helps with strengthening the hip flexors. It helps with strengthening the quads. It helps with regards to reducing knee pains. This exercise helps with athletic performance. It helps with mobility, movement, because the stronger the hip flexors are, the better it is for running, for sprinting. This exercise will help you with regards to your balance and coordination. It helps with regards to dynamic stabilization as well, because what you're actually doing is balancing on one leg, so you're stabilizing that leg, the balancing leg that you're stabilizing, which is this one, the stabilizing leg. So you're balancing on this leg while you're moving the foot forward. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So you're balancing on the stance leg, gripping the floor with your toes. Keep the knee slightly bent of your stance leg. Straighten the knee of the leg with the resistance and move it forward. Resist the pull of the band, all right? So in other words, when you move the leg forward, return to starting position. Forward, return to starting position. Keep your core tight as well. And in doing so, it's easier to control the movement, right? Not only that, but you get a double whammy because you also get core strengthening from the isometric contraction there that you're doing with your core muscles. And you have another isometric contraction going on there in your thigh. So what will happen over a period of time, after a couple of reps, you're going to start to feel a burning sensation in your thigh, which is normal. You're going to start to feel a burning sensation in the balancing leg, which is normal because those muscles are constantly engaged in order to maintain that balance and support while you're moving. So it's actually being worked a lot. So not only do you strengthen the moving leg, but you're also strengthening the balancing leg as well. So it's a double whammy. It's a good workout for the body. It's a wonderful workout for the body. Not to mention if you put in the abductions as well. You can hold on to a pole if you want. Try and balance. As you balance on your own, You get more benefit, you get more effect, a better effect from it, as opposed to holding on to something for support. Initially, you may want to hold on to something for support because you're actually moving while balancing on one leg against resistance, so it may be a bit more difficult and challenging to try and maintain that balance while moving against resistance on that one leg, on that single leg. Right? So you may want to hold on to something initially, but if you can manage and tolerate it, I would strongly suggest that you try to wean yourself, try not to hold on to anything. You probably can stand beside something just in case, but try not to hold on to anything while performing this exercise. And I can guarantee you, you'll definitely feel it much better doing it that way. Standing hip flexion exercise. So there are different ones. You can do the abduction if you want. You can turn around and face the anchor, turn around, so you're facing the anchor now, and you can do also the extension, right? So extension, you can do abduction and flexion. But in this case, we're working on flexion, standing hip flexion exercise. Good. Remember to keep your body upright, maintain engagement in your core. You can do a couple of reps, probably 3 sets of probably 10, 15 reps, depending on your tolerance. If while performing this exercise you start to feel increasing pain in the moving area, then you can stop from performing this exercise. If it is that you have a major knee issue or a major hip problem or any major issue or complications with regards to your weight-bearing joints, then I would strongly suggest that you seek medical advice first. Go to your physiotherapist, get the clearance from a physiotherapist or a medical doctor before starting this exercise. Standing hip flexion exercise. Remember to return back to starting position. Don't allow the band to pull the leg all the way back like that. So return back to the starting position, which is at the same level as the stance leg. So forward, bring it back to the starting position. Forward, bring it back to the starting position. I'm Roman Hunter. Pray that you really benefit from this exercise. Have a wonderful day. Blessings.